Hello everyone and welcome, it's Lainey, and I will get started. I'll just say that everyone who asked a question, I will put a link to YouTube or whatever they have, if they do, and a link to anything else. Sorry about that, David was just opening the door for us, and a link to anything else that I need to in there as well. Okay, so moving on. Starting with Sarah Resells, which is the lovely Sarah on Instagram. If you could have any view out of your window, what view would you choose? And what view would you choose? Yeah, so Jason Momoa would be a nice view. But I think I would love, like in the summer, to have like a picturesque beach view with the sea looking so calm, but I wouldn't want it to be red hot because the heat massively affects me, especially my legs. Well, the heat affects my lymphedema and lipedema, and the cold affects my arthritis, so you cannot win. But yeah, so in the summer months I would like a perfect beach scene with the sea, and you know what I mean, all of that sort of stuff. And then in the winter months I'd love a perfect snow scene with falling snow and just so picturesque, you know, and beautiful, that kind of thing. But it'd not be cold like for me inside, even though I'm watching it. It would be nice if that could be possible. She also asked another question, which was ant or deck, and it has to be deck, I think. Yeah, he's just that little bit cuter, just a little bit, and he's got like a cheeky grin, you know, so yeah, I'd have to go with deck. Okay, next question is from the lovely Louise, who is IndieChicks. She also has a fabulous yoga channel on YouTube, which I will put the links in for that, as I said earlier. Here's my voice. She asks, what 3 things are you most proud of? I'm not going to include like my children and family and friends, because obviously there'd be, my children would be in that, and other people I'm going to just do it without them included, if that makes sense, because that goes without saying anyway. I think staying in hospital when it was really hard, so when I had to stay in for 6 months, it was really hard, and I never once thought about discharging myself, despite the fact that many times I was really down and very upset, especially Laura's 21st birthday, spending it in hospital and not being able to be home for her for that. That was hard. I still managed to get some, like with the help of family and the nurses, my sister brought in decorations and a cake and presents and things, and the nurses helped me decorate my room, so to make a bit of an effort. But she always said to me that she was rather I was there getting better than home, you know what I mean. Also kind of conquering my demons I didn't know I had, really, in a sense, because as I said, I've said this before, that I literally thought it was me, and then pushing myself out of my comfort zone at the moment, like even just to keep going forward, and like moving forward in life and improving it, so pushing myself forward out of my comfort zone, I think. Okay, next question is from well, it's 3 questions, but the first one is from Caroline, MrsM, who is also on Instagram, but like I said, I'll put our links below. Best and worst things about social media. I think the best things are like the friendships that are formed, being able to interact with people all over the world that you would never have met, you know, and finding out about things that you would never have met by meeting those people or speaking to those people, you know. I think also like when someone is missing from home, whether it's because they've got medical issues or mental issues, and whether animals are missing and stuff, those being able to share those things on social media gets the word around really quickly, and in many cases helps people and animals be found that wouldn't have happened before. So I think they're like the best things. And also I've also put, it helps so much when you're isolated. So when I was isolated in hospital a lot, I did watch a lot. When I was isolated at home after I came out of hospital, I watched a lot. It allowed me to sort of peer into other people's lives when mine was just these four walls essentially. So yeah, when I was waiting for the medical equipment, that is. I hope this isn't lagging again. Didn't seem like it was. Anyway, next one. Also, what the worst things about it. So the worst things is so much judging, there's so much shaming, there's so much trolling, I suppose they're the same thing, bullying. All of those things are just horrendous, and people think that because they're behind a keyboard they can do or say what they like and it doesn't matter. But words hurt, and it hurts a lot of people, you know. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Just the length of time that you do it, you sort of lose that interaction with others. I think especially the generations below me. I mean, I know I to be honest, I do use a lot of social media, but I'm stuck inside a lot. But when I was younger, obviously it didn't exist. And I think there's a lot of kids missing a lot of youth because they're just stuck behind a screen. And even for adults, you know, just the amount of time you can lose on here. So you'd be like, oh, I'll go on Facebook for 5 minutes, and before you know it, you've been there an hour and all that time is gone. I'll go on YouTube and watch one thing, and you've watched 4 things and you've lost 2 or 3 hours. It's too easy. It's too easy for that to happen. Question 2 from Caroline is, what is my greatest regret? And also the thing I'm most proud of. I guess my regret is not realising I could have been helped sooner, because I truly didn't think that it was possible. Because I thought it was me, so in that sense. But in one way I can't regret that, because obviously it, you know, it's not something I could have done. I could have done anything about at the time. But it's also the thing that I do regret, because, you know, I've lost out on so much of my life. You know, I've missed out on probably the best part of 16 years in a sense. I mean, it didn't, you know, it wasn't instant, but, you know, all that time I wasted and I didn't realise. But like I said, I didn't know. So moving on to the thing I'm most proud of, I guess, apart from, like I said, my children and friends and family and things, and also, you know, as I said before about being in hospital for the 6 months, I'm proud of who I am. I never used to be. I always associated being overweight with me, for some reason, making as a horrible person or something. I don't know how I had that thought, but I did. And whereas like now I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of me as a person. I know that I'm a nice person, that I try to help and all that sort of thing. And also, like, winning the poetry competition that I did last year, I was really proud of that, because I just hoped that at least even just one person would read the poem, and it gave them the strength to realise that it wasn't just them, and that they could change their life too, kind of thing. Not that it's easy, but you know, yeah, so that would be that. And then the last question you asked was, oh, dropping me paper, so I need to read it off. If money is no object and you can spend the day however you'd like, what would your perfect day look like, and where would you spend it? So my perfect day, do you know, I don't think like money would actually come into it in so many ways, because as long, you know, you only, like, in a way you're richer by the people around you than anything else. So Christmas Day has always been a massive deal in our family, apart from obviously recently with obviously issues I've had, and now my parents having issues and things like that. But the whole family used to get together at one point, like aunties, uncles and everything. And I mean, we're not, you know, some of us are not all here now, unfortunately, but those of us who are, it would be amazing if we could just have like one massive family Christmas like we used to. As I said, it was always perfect when I was growing up, and I'd just like to have it again. And we would just be laughing and singing, eating way too much, and enjoying the day, opening presents, and just having the best time. And that is it really. Okay, next question is, who is badbiscuit_Lexx on Instagram. She asked, what was the final straw for you, the thing that kicked you up the bum, so to speak? I think the only way, well, I know the reason I mainly went into hospital for probably 99%, well, because one, well, I knew I was dying, I think, and I didn't want the kids to find me. It's hard to say that. Yeah. And that is the biggest part of it. Obviously, if my district nurse hadn't pushed me and sort of been really honest with me, she was, yeah, that would have happened, and that was the main reason that pushed me to do it. And there was a tiny bit, and I remember leaving this room, going outside the first time, and I was looking up at the sky, and I did just before that thinking to myself, what if, but then I kind of just was like, don't be stupid, you know what I mean, kind of thing. Because obviously I never believed it would change, and it's madness really. It still is to me. I still find it mad. But yeah, anyway, moving on. Next question is from Mel at Sparrows End. What are your favourite 3 things about yourself? I would say the ability to make people feel better. I don't know, my friends always tell me that, like, they can talk to us and I help them to feel less anxious. I always make them laugh, and I always make them feel better. So one of my friends in particular, she says that I'm a tonic, so if she's ever down. But yeah, so I like I've always felt like if someone's hurt or whatever, or upset, like, I feel the need to help them. I've always been like that, like, make them feel better. So yeah, so that one. The ability to look at both sides of the fence. I used to think it was I used to be annoyed at myself because I used at times, because I didn't sometimes see things as black and white as other people did, and they would be like, oh well, you would think like that or whatever, because I couldn't, but I would see points of view on both sides. And I think sometimes when you're involved in something, you don't see that. I mean, I do have some very black and white views, but like the most point, like I am able to see like there's two sides to a story, and there's usually points in both sides where there's a reason or whatever. So that one, and I guess my honesty, but then sometimes that's gone down in the wrong way, I suppose, but like I still couldn't not do the same thing. I was friends with a girl for a long time, and she got with a boy, and I saw him cheating on her. He was kissing someone else, and I told her because I felt like I had to. I couldn't lie. Obviously we were really good friends, or so I thought. He decided to twist her head and said I was jealous, and she took his side. Happens, I suppose, but I think I would do the same thing because I'd have to be honest. It's the same with clothes, like and things like that. People have showed us clothes and they'll go, what do you think? I love it, and I'll be like, and I have to be honest. If I think it doesn't suit them, if I think it might just be the style, it doesn't mean it's them or anything like that. It could just be the style or the look or what the colour even. People do look good in certain styles and shapes, and I even remember my friend showing me this green paisley print, can't even say it, my friend showed me this green paisley print dress, and I looked at it and thought, oh, it was horrible, like, but that's my taste, you know. But obviously, you know, she tried it on, and I have to say it looked really good on her. She suited the colour, she suited the print, it just looked really good. She was redhead, so obviously the green, but I just thought it was horrendous. But I just waited, sort of looked at it, and when she was wearing it, and she did really suit her. Right, next one is from Christine Davies, I should say. It's Christine_Davies_150. She says, what hobbies do you have apart from quizzing, in brackets, as I know you love that? Talking. Is there a hobby? I'm good at talking. I like to talk. I'd have done a good advert for BT, wouldn't I? But yeah, I do love talking. And singing. I joined a choir. Obviously everything's closed at the minute. I'm not the best singer. I'm probably even a good singer, but I like it and it makes me feel better, so I'll do it. Reading. I do like to read. I did go through a long phase of not reading, but I do like to read. Helping charities. I help 2 charities, a cat and dog one, and Obesity UK, which is obviously for obesity problems, and writing is probably my biggest, I guess. I love writing. I'm absolutely crap at grammar, spelling, punctuation, all of that. I'm terrible at, and even my brain doesn't catch up with my fingers, so my brain's ahead of me story, and I find it a struggle to write it down. But absolutely love writing, and I've started so many stories and give up, which annoys me thinking about it. But but writing poems, I've done quite a few, and I do just empty in my head sometimes on paper is great. So yeah, that's them. Right, moving on. So that's all the Instagram ones. Moving on to YouTube comments or questions. Starting with the lovely Ashleigh, Ashleigh Carruthers on YouTube. She says, who would you have sign for Sunderland if money was no issue, and why? So that's Sunderland Football Club. I'd have to go Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Sergio Aguero. I can't even say it. Why can't I see his name? Sergio Aguero. Why am I just butchering that? Anyway, and basically every other great player that you can think of. Reason being is those three that I've mentioned are extremely good goal scorers, and we need to get out of League One. So that is my reason. So question 2, as she had 2, is what tips do you have for staying positive and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone? I think being internally kind to yourself is one, for staying positive, because I think if you're not internally kind, one thing I always say, if I wouldn't say it to a friend or family member, then don't say it to yourself. That's one thing. Keeping busy, keeping your brain busy, keeping your brain active. Sometimes it doesn't work, like anything. Sometimes it doesn't. Doing what I said before, writing it down. So just anything that comes into your head, just get a notebook and just write it. It doesn't have to rhyme, it doesn't have to mean anything to anyone else, but just empty your head and put it all on paper. And it's really cathartic, and it's great to like sort of release things. Using mindfulness is really good. Helps you sort of deal with and helps you relax and deal with things that's going on. And then sleep. If all else fails, I tend to find I go to sleep and I'll say to myself, right, tomorrow's going to be a better day, tomorrow's going to be fine, we're going to get up, we're going to be great and all that, and that really helps him. But if you find that your mood is dropped and it's staying dropped and it's been days or whatever, then look into getting further help, something professional help. That would be my thing. Pushing myself out of my comfort zone, I really struggled with, as before. I didn't do anything because obviously fear kept us, I guess, where I was. But now, you know, I think it's just, I don't want to go back where I was, so obviously there's that pushes me, and the realization that nothing is ever as bad as your brain will make out it is. At the end of the day, your brain is wired to keep you safe, it wants to keep you alive. That is the whole point. So it's not gonna, if you're gonna say, oh well, I'm gonna jump out of a plane, your brain's gonna go, no you're not, because then this will happen and that'll happen and you'll die and la 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 la, because you know your brain is there to keep you safe, as I said. I mean, although I'm not doing any jumping out of planes or anything, I'm not that extreme, but I've done things like, you know, going in places that scared us. Obviously I have issues with roads and things, and just going back. And when I went back and did it, the most recent thing I did, where I struggled the first time, but I was determined to go back, and when I did go back and do it, and I went the easy way first, because obviously there was a build up of so many issues on the way, I realised that actually it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad as I'd let my anxiety build it up to be. It was nowhere near. It wasn't bad at all. I think there was one issue where the foot plate scraped the floor, and that was the only bit that scared us, but I did it. And it makes you feel so much more powerful and confident, and it helps so much. So start with little things. If you've got things that you need to push yourself for, start with little things and move forward, and use your logic. Remember that your brain's trying to keep you alive, and that you know it's your fear and your anxiety, and nothing, probably 99% of things are never as bad as you think they are. So yeah, that's that one. Alright, next one is Chris Tyler asked, tell us more about your eBay and when and what you used to sell and why you stopped. So we started selling in 1998. Well, actually we started selling our own stuff in 1998, me and my sister. We'd cleaned out our houses, we'd had a spring clean. I don't recall how we'd getting to know about eBay. It wasn't around very long before that. Was it 95, I think? Anyway, we decided to put our stuff on, and I mean, back then there was a lot of like sending money in the post stuff, but yeah, we did that, and obviously it went well, and we already used to go into charity shops and thinking jumble sales and things like that for ourselves. We had done since we were kids, you know, my parents did. So we're picking up bits in shops and that, and then we decided to buy a big bulk order of personalised items. Now the items were already personalised, they already had people's names on, so we couldn't choose, but that was the question we always got. Can you get one with Delilah Carrera on or something? Right, no, we don't have those, it's just the ones that I've got there. But yeah, we used to get that a lot. And it didn't last very long, probably a couple of years maybe, I think, when it stopped. Well, basically she met someone, and obviously then it ended then, so it just kind of stopped. And I could have did it myself, but I was already having a lot of mental issues with leaving the house and things like that, so I was having like sort of good and bad days, and yeah, I guess I couldn't do it properly on my own, because obviously she could do a lot of the going out stuff if I wasn't able. But and then about 5 years ago, I tried to get Laura to like it, but it didn't really go anywhere because Laura didn't like it. So I was hoping she would set up and then I could help her, but she didn't like it. She actually hates the mess, which means I've still got to sort the back of the cupboard. There's some stuff there that needs to go at the charity shop. So yeah. Anyway, I miss it a lot, you know. I always liked it. I always loved the rake in the charity shops. I mean, obviously finding the stuff was the best thing, but so I do miss it a lot, but it's just not possible. Right, next one is from Joan. On YouTube, and why did you start? I never really took notice of like when I first started. Probably since it's been around, I've probably looked at the odd thing on there, but I think that I probably started properly watching it like in hospital. I could watch it a bit, but I didn't have Wi-Fi. Like I had Wi-Fi on my phone, like what you got. Obviously it didn't last long when you were playing videos. So probably when I came out, so in 2017 is when I was more concentrated, but I did watch it in the back end. Yeah, because I'm sure I started watching Nick, Andrea, Caroline, Carla. I'm sure I used to watch them in 2016. I'm sure I did. Yeah, I think I did. And then I watched a little bit in hospital, but it was only what I could watch on my phone. And then when I didn't have medical equipment and stuff when I came out, and obviously I spent the 2 years in bed then, apart from the little few walks I was doing at first, and then obviously my knees went, so I wasn't even doing them. So yeah, I kind of got really engrossed in it. I guess way too much. Do you watch other channels apart from resellers, and if so, which ones and why? I do. I've brought a list here. I watch Holly Vlogs. Well, I tell you what, I watch Kate McCabe and Louise Pentland, but I don't watch them as much. Same as it's M. I don't watch her as much, but I watch the occasional ones. I watch Holly Vlogs. She is like a budget mom. Like she likes to get bargains and things, and she's good for that. So it's her 2 daughters, her husband, and they've just had a baby boy. But they're really good. They go and buy stuff from the look around the shops and buy stuff, and they show you around the shops and things, so you like a lot of come shop with me type videos, and also tell you whenever things are on budget or on sale or whatever like that, so that's good. So I love watching them. I also watch, who do I watch? I love Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star, only because like I will always sort of love them, and then I got involved, especially with their documentary. It's just amazing. So I love them. I like Russell Howard because he makes me laugh, so it's simple for him. I like watching TED Talks. I just find them really interesting stuff, whether it's medical, mental, things people have done. You know, I just love the talks that they do. I also watch the Sawalha. Don't know if I can say her name, but Nadia Sawalha. Sawalha. Oh, whatever her name is. Her and her husband have a channel that I think it's the Sawalha-Adderleys family vlogs, maybe, or channel. I'll put links to everything down below anyway. And I love them because so it's a lady who was in EastEnders. She's also on Loose Women, but they have a channel, and they've put loads and loads of content out at the moment. You know, with the lockdown, they're doing a lot of lives and things like that, and they're just upbeat. They do random dancing and all sorts of things just to keep you on beat. They've done cookery, you name it, all sorts. But they've, you know, they talk about serious stuff. They do film reviews, program reviews, and loads of different things. So yeah, definitely one to watch. And then Emma Kenny is she is a psychologist, yeah, of This Morning, but she has her own YouTube channel and she does a live clinic, so it's really good. If you need something that you need to talk about, she can do that, and she keeps, you know, names silent and all that sort of thing. And other people comment in the chat and they talk about it, and it gets to the, you know, gets mental health out there. She also does like mindfulness stuff and other just chats on certain things, anything as hard as like suicide right through to just, I don't know, something more minor. I can't think, my brain's not listening. So there's her, there's also, I'm not going to go on everyone, Coupe, Choccy Kaz, My Happy Ever After, or My Happy Ever, can't say it, My Happy Ever After, Katy Jayne. There's a lad called Stu who does weight loss videos. He's lost about, I'm trying to think how much he's lost. Well, there's two actually. One that does them, one's by his name, so it's Stu something. I'll put all the links below. My brain is just, I haven't wrote it down on this. I also like Breafkast, so she does dumpster diving, so it's not quite, I mean, she does resell some of the stuff, but a lot of it she donates to places that need food and stuff. And she's got a great dog called Pilgrim, and she lives with her husband, and they go to auction, like housing auction sales in America, because she's American. I really like her. And who else was I going to say? The Lodge Guys. The Lodge Guys are a male couple who, they're just lovely. They're very sweet, funny, and I like them. Anyway, I'll put links to everyone I've mentioned down below, like I said, so if anyone wants to click over and have a look, then they can do. Right, what was your next part of your question? Was, how long have you been doing videos on YouTube, and what are your favourites to do? So I've been doing them about 8 months now. I think it started in August. I can't believe it's been that long. I can't believe that I still do them. I can't believe how much confidence I've gained from it. I just didn't think that was possible. I didn't think I would get to the point that I would talk about my denture on the telly. It's kind of on the telly, innit? My denture on the internet and stuff like that. Like, but I really just, I'm at the stage now where it doesn't bother us. Like, if someone were to see now, it's like I've took control of everything that someone may find a fault with, me weight, me this, whatever, and like if they choose to say anything, stuff them. I really don't care. And then what else was it again? Oh, what's my favourite to do? I suppose the lives are easiest because then there's no hassle. You don't have to edit and do all of that. So if you're busy, you can just get it done. And the interaction is great, so you can have like interaction with people. So that's really cool. But I also do like doing well, I like this. This is really entertaining. I like doing the question one, and the vlogs of us going out and about, because I think it's great for us to be able to look back and see where I've been and what I've done and like that sort of thing, you know, especially when they've been first and stuff after years and years, you know. So those, and I do like the hauls. I love watching other people's haul videos, so yeah, they are quite good. Haven't had one for ages because obviously I haven't really been anywhere. But never mind. Okay, moving on. Where are we? So next one is from Jo, who is Intelligent Zombie. She said, what are the next week's lotto numbers? Lol. So 2, 5, 26, 28, 44 and 45. 44 is the age I am now, 45 is the next age I'll be. So if you win millions, you know where well, you don't know where I live in the computer. Anyway, yeah, moving on to our other question. She did have two. What do your family think about you doing YouTube? Well, before I started it, I spoke to my children. Before I decided to take the step, I did speak to my children, because I thought if it was something that they really didn't want us to do, I wouldn't do it. But they were both like, well, not bothered. So I was like, alright then. And then when I did my first video, they both, well, my daughter wrote on my first video that she was proud of his, and my son did say something a bit later. He was like that, which I kind of guess means the same thing. My brothers commented a few times and stuff. I don't think they bother watching. My mum and dad are like, you know, they're not really it's not really their thing. I don't even think they understand what it means, but but yeah, but I mean they know, but like I said, I don't think they understand what it means exactly. But I think my mum thinks she can't believe it, because I think when the first day I went to see them and I went to their house rather than having to come to me, which hadn't happened for a few years, but they couldn't believe I was there. They were like both absolutely gobsmacked, because obviously they remembered what I was like. Right, next part is, can you tell us a cute story about when your kids were little, and possibly an embarrassing one? Because she's referring to the one I spoke about in Carla's channel. Anyway, I've actually done a video with I think 6 or 7 embarrassing stories on, and that'll be coming out. It might be out before this actually, so you've got your wish, Jo. A cute story about when the kids were little. I don't know if this is cute so much, but I was a bit embarrassed actually saying that. But there used to be this like little mini bus, and it was just like, it only held about 15 people or something, 18 people. And I was going to my parents' house, and the kids used to like to sit on the back seat, and then I used to sit like one row in front, so that they looked cool, even though they were only what, probably like 4 and 7 maybe, or 8 and 5, somewhere there. 4 and 7, there's 2 years and 10 months between them anyway. It's beside the point in it. So they were sitting on the back seat, and David's like turning the pages really quick, you know, the free newspapers you get, They usually have them on the buses and metros and things like that. So the paper's actually called the Metro, I think. So they were like thingying through the pages, David was, and Laura was just sitting there and she was going, David, she was like, David, what you looking for? Like that to him. And he went, I'm looking for the boobies like in Grandad's paper. He's so loud though. And I was like, oh my god. Luckily we were getting off, but yeah, I suppose that's like a funny, cute story. My dad, not that it was full of boobies, his paper, but it was, I don't know if the page 3 back then. I don't even know if you still get page 3, but yeah, back then there was always page 3, so he'd obviously seen it. So he was looking for them, even as a young kid. Bless him. Yeah, well, that is all of the questions. Thank you very much, everyone, for sending me the questions. As I said, I'll put the links to everyone and anything I mentioned down below in the description box. Thank you so much. I've had great fun answering them, and I will catch you all next time. Bye bye.